Joining us now, Punchbowl News co-founder and MSNBC political contributor, Jake Sherman. Jake, great seeing you. So, what does it look like right now as far as, are we going to go to a government shutdown or not?
No, we're not, Jose. It doesn't seem like that at this point. At least it won't be a prolonged one. Now, Monday, I believe, is October 1st. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't think we're going to be in a situation in which government funding does not pass by Monday. It might take over the weekend, but the House is going to clear the bill tomorrow. And then it goes over to the Senate, Jose, where the senators have a much wider berth to slow down the process than we do here in the House of Representatives. Members do, not reporters. Senators could ask for votes on amendments and could not allow for the process to be sped up. And I think that would be a challenge for the Senate Republican leadership. One thing we've reported is that some Senate Republicans, including Mike Lee, have suggested they might try to get a vote on that SAVE Act, which would require voters to prove their U.S. citizenship before casting a ballot. So something like that could slow up the process. But no, this is a bare bones 3-month stopgap funding measure that expires December 20th. This is not a controversial piece of legislation, except for the process. As you noted, Mike Johnson has bypassed the Rules Committee because he wasn't able to pass a rule. A rule would allow him to pass this bill on the floor with a simple majority vote. Doing it under suspension of the rules would forces him to ask Democrats to support the bill because he would need a 2/3 majority. So no shutdown, but just a really annoying, messy week.
Right. And so I'm told that October 1st is Tuesday, just for our scheduling issues, because but is how much, or is it costing Johnson politically?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, listen, there's a couple scenarios to keep in mind. If Republicans keep the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson will probably be Speaker again. Now, that's not a sure thing. And by any stretch of the imagination, this is an incredibly competitive House landscape in which Democrats have been raising more money and generally have, I don't know about the inside track, but a really good chance to win the majority come November. If Johnson loses the majority, I don't even know what he's going to do. I don't know if he'll run for minority leader. But this kind of stuff, passing government funding bills with Democratic support and just a handful of Republicans, let's call it 100 Republicans, is something that people are going to use against him. Now, not all of this is his fault. In normal times, 15 years ago, a short-term stopgap funding bill would not be controversial. But in today's day and age, it is.
That's so great. In normal times, 15 years ago. Hey, Jake, meanwhile,
Jose, I was here for that. It wasn't even that normal then, but it was a little bit better than now.
Right. It depends on what normal is, right? But meanwhile, Secretary Blinken defied a congressional subpoena requiring him to appear today before the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
Yeah, Secretary Blinken is in New York for the UN General Assembly, so definitely an unfortunate scheduling conflict, to say the least. But the Foreign Affairs Committee is investigating that withdrawal from Afghanistan, the much maligned and much criticized withdrawal from Afghanistan, and has been, quite honestly, for many months now, and for more than a year has been investigating that. And yesterday, Anthony Blinken sent a detailed letter rebutting all of the committee's arguments about the withdrawal from Afghanistan for public consumption, to show that he's willing to send other State Department officials up here, but he is not willing to come up here today.
So it's just a matter of rescheduling, renegotiating, renegotiating a rescheduling.
I mean, listen, I don't know that we get out of this Congress without the House trying to hold Tony Blinken in contempt. I think they've done that before on other Biden administration officials. It is one of the tools that Congress has, although it used to be not used too often. It's used much more often now to hold in contempt a member of the administration. I think that is something that they are trying to use, this withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was objectively did not go very well. They are trying to use that as a cudgel against Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Jake Sherman, always great seeing you. Thanks you very much, my friend.